priorities, real ambition, but somehow the work you plan to do just isn't getting done. So let's dive into this because it's a super common frustration and explore the real gap that holds so many of us back.
And this, right here, is the heart of it. Most academics are absolutely brilliant planners. The problem isn't the plan. The breakdown happens in the messy, day-to-day reality of actually getting the work done.
We all know this feeling, right? That rush of optimism, the clean slate, that little promise you make to yourself that this time, things are going to be different. You'll finally get a handle on your time, you'll work more intentionally. It's a really powerful motivator.
And the thing is, in academic life, this cycle of starting fresh happens multiple times a year. It's not just a January thing. It's the start of a new semester, the beginning of the academic year in the fall, and even after you've survived a particularly chaotic term. Each one is a brand new chance to make a plan, and, well, a new chance for that plan to fall apart.
I want to be super clear about this. The problem is almost never the plan itself. You know what your goals are. You've thought through all the steps. Your plans are solid. What's missing is something else entirely, something that comes way later, in that space between what you intend to do and what actually gets done.
So let's talk about that space. It's this intention-outcome gap. It's that treacherous territory between what we decide to do and what we actually manage to accomplish. And honestly, it's something our academic training pretty much never prepares us for.
I mean, think about it. Our entire careers are built on this incredible foundation of skills. We are trained to think so deeply, to analyze really complex problems, and to design these ambitious, long-term projects. We are experts at the what and the why.
But then, Monday morning hits. And that's where the training just stops, and the chaos completely takes over. The very structured world of your plan collides with the messy, unstructured reality of daily academic life. And a lot of the time, we're just left totally unequipped to handle it.
Sound familiar? You know, that meeting that was supposed to be 30 minutes just magically expands to fill the whole hour. The inbox that was perfectly fine this morning has now somehow multiplied. Your energy and focus just bottom out for no reason. And before you even know it, one slightly off day has quietly snowballed into a completely derailed week.
Okay, so here's the thing. All those daily frustrations, they're just symptoms, not the real problem. To get to the root cause, we have to ask, why are our perfectly good plans so fragile? Why does execution break down so consistently?
And this right here, this is the fundamental mismatch. Our plans are built on this silent assumption of a perfect week, predictable, linear, with steady energy. But academic reality, it's the total opposite. It's chaotic, it's packed with interruptions, and it demands constant, exhausting context switching between teaching, research, admin, the whole shebang.
So, there it is. That's the bottom line. Your execution doesn't fail because your plan was bad or because you weren't disciplined enough. It fails because there's no structure in place to protect your priorities when the pressure of that chaotic reality inevitably hits.
And this creates what you could call a support vacuum. There's no one there to help you adjust when your whole week collapses. No one to help you triage and figure out what still matters right now. And maybe the most important part, there's no system to help you get your momentum back without that awful feeling of guilt. So what do? We just make a new plan, again.
But what if making another plan isn't the answer? The biggest breakthroughs don't come from finding a better system. They come from thinking about this in a totally different way, by building support.
You know, when things go off the rails, the advice we usually get, or give ourselves, is always about adding more pressure, right? Make a tighter schedule. Find a fancier app. Set even higher expectations. Oh, and my personal favorite, just be more disciplined. But we know this stuff rarely works.
So what actually works? What gives you real leverage? It's things that work with reality, not against it. A flexible weekly structure that cuts down on decision fatigue. A way of setting priorities so they can actually survive a major disruption. Having a built-in plan for recovery. And some kind of accountability that just makes it easier to start again.
And that word leverage is so important here. We're talking about small, strategic things you can do that create a huge, disproportionate impact on what you get done. It's all about finding those little points in your week where a tiny bit of support structure can save you a massive amount of effort and frustration.
And that's really the mantra to take away from all this. It's not about working harder or trying to find more hours in the day. It's about building a structure that actually supports your work, so you don't have to rely on sheer force of will to push through the chaos. So, As we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with a little tool for reflection. The whole goal is to help you shift your focus away from that endless cycle of replanning and toward this idea of building real, actual support.
If you see yourself in this cycle of planning, then failing, then replanning, the answer isn't another app or a more color-coded calendar. The very first step is to stop looking for a better system and just start asking a much better, more powerful question.
And this is the question. What actually happens in your week when things don't go as planned, and who or what helps you recover? Just think about that for a second. Is there anyone? Is there anything? Or are you just left all alone to try and pick up the pieces and start over?
Because at the end of the day, that's the gap we need to bridge. Most professors are already expert planners. What you're missing, what we're all missing, is a support for follow-through when reality decides to show up. And building that support, well, that's what can finally break the cycle.